Hey Finders, welcome back to Fortune Finds. Today I'm going to be testing out a liquid foundation. Now I don't think this is new, but I've never tried it and I did receive a sample, and honestly since filming my samples while I buy it or not video, it's really inspired me to like go to Sephora and ask for samples. I feel like it's really going to help me decide where I want to spend my money. I'm going to be testing out the BAREMINERALS Bare Pro foundation. Okay, so I pulled up some info on the foundation, so let's read a little bit about it. So it comes in 30 different shades. It retails for $34, which honestly is not bad for a foundation nowadays. And it comes with 1 full ounce, which is your typical amount that comes in any standard foundation. A naturally matte finish, and I don't really like matte foundations, but I'm curious to see, maybe I'll like this one. Long wear technology that blends mineral pigments with lipids naturally found in skin to lock in transfer resistant color true coverage in 30 carefully calibrated shades. SPF of 20, which I love. It's heat, humidity, water, and sweat resistant foundation. I don't really think I'm gonna sweat that much today, but we're gonna put it on. I'm gonna do one side of my face using a sponge, the other side of my face using a brush. We'll see which is the best way to apply it, and then I'm gonna do a full day wear test. I will check in with you guys throughout the day and let you know how the foundation is performing. So let's go ahead and get into it. I have this little sample guy right here, and this is in the shade Golden Ivory. And then apply it to the face using my fingers. I feel like this is a decent shade for me. It's a little gold, but I do have a self tanner on, so we'll see what happens. On this side, I will use the sponge. So I'm just gonna dip it in, get that on the sponge, and then pat that all over the skin. Now, I did prime my face using moisturizer. I didn't use a makeup primer today, but you know what? When people say prime your face, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to use a makeup primer. When people typically say prime your face, it means just prep your face. So for me today, I didn't want to use a primer, so I just went ahead and put a little moisturizer on my face. I just did my morning routine, and if you're interested to see what my morning routine consists of, I did upload a skincare series recently where I showed you my morning, nighttime, and pre-makeup routine. So I will link that down below so you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested in what I exactly use. This is a Real Techniques sponge, but you can use any sponge, and it is damp. So I simply went to the bathroom, ran it under some water, and then squeezed out the excess. So let's see how this is doing. It's kind of powdery looking, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is definitely matte. Like, there is no dewiness to this finish, and it does dry down pretty quickly. For all my people out there who have super dry skin, which I have combo lean-in dry, if you just add a little bit of oil into your foundation, I personally like the Tarte Maracuja oil. I'll put a drop or two depending on how dry my skin is, mix it in with the foundation on the back of my hand, and then pat it all over the skin. But I want this to be a true wear test, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna use the foundation. This is like medium coverage, I would say, 1 layer, but it does look like it is buildable, and that if we throw another one on, it could get there. Foundation brush today, I'm gonna be using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH03. Stipple this into the skin, so I'm just gonna push it in. The best way to apply this foundation is with a sponge. I don't know if you can see on camera, but the brush side kind of looks a little cakier, like it's kind of sitting on top of my skin. Maybe there's too much excess product, which is leading that to happen, whereas the sponge side, it went on a little smoother. There's not as much patchiness, but overall, I'm going to say right off the bat, this is a super, super matte foundation. So if you have dry skin, I don't think this is going to be the right foundation for you, but I don't want to say too much because I do want to give this a fair shot. So I think I'm going to go back in, I'm going to add 1 more layer, see how buildable we can get this, and I'm going to apply it all over my face using the sponge, because honestly, I don't think you can see the difference on camera, but to me, like, there's a major difference. This side is a lot more textured looking. I would be fine with the first layer, but I want to see how buildable this foundation is, because it does say that it's full coverage, and to me, like, it definitely is full coverage. I just think you need 2 layers to get it to that full coverage that most full coverage people want. My beauty sponge feels a little dry right now, to be honest, so I'm going to go ahead and dampen it using a little bit of the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And this also lays down the foundation really, really nicely. I think it makes it less cakier, so that's just like a trick that I like to do. And this foundation dries down very, very, very quickly. So I think you're gonna wanna move fast. And I also think if you are oily, on the oilier side of your skin, I think you're gonna love this because it is literally sucking all of the moisture out of my skin. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off camera, finish the rest of my makeup, and then we will meet back here. I'll give you my final initial thoughts, and then I'm gonna take you guys around with me throughout the day. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I totally forgot that I had a nail appointment, so I ran out of the house half done. So apologies, this isn't like a full face of makeup, which I think that would be more like, I would give more of a full effect if I had all my makeup on, but I am gonna run home and I'm gonna finish all my makeup. So this is 2 hours in. I just got done at the nail salon, which literally took me 2 hours. My nails are now short, but whatever, the long nails was just like getting in my way. So this is what my face looks like. Honestly, I'm not loving this foundation. It is super matte and it's also very full coverage. All my girls or guys out there who are oily and like a full coverage, this is definitely a foundation for you. But I have combo to dry skin. I don't know, it just like looks a little cakey. There's a lot of texture going on over here, and I don't know, but it kind of made my bronzer go on a little bit muddy, and I use this bronzer all the time and it's never muddy looking on me. So I don't know, it is like kind of settled into the fine lines on my head. And again guys, this is only 2 hours in, so I would say I'm excited to see how the rest of this wear test performs, but I don't think it's gonna go my way. But just give me a second, I need to drive home, get the F away from this nail salon because I've literally spent my entire day here, go throw on some full-faced makeup. I gotta do my eyes, throw on some mascara. My brows are a hot mess. Like, this foundation is just sitting in between my brows, making them look orange. So give me a hot second and I'll be right back. I will sit down with you guys and it'll be 4 hours in. Apologies that I did not sit down and show you my face, but as you guys saw, I had a mishap. Totally forgot that I had a nail appointment and had to beeline it there. But the good news is that for this check-in, I have literally been wearing this foundation for the last 5 hours. So I am 5 hours in. I also filmed another video after the nail salon. It was like a whole big to-do. If you like this eyeliner though, really cool product. It is a winged liner stamp. Literally, I'm not kidding you. It is a stamp that you stamp on your eye and it gives you an automatic wing. One side is a winged stamp and the other one is a felt tip liner. So it's pretty cool. So if you didn't check that out, you totally should. I think it's really cool, and you can buy this on Amazon for $12 and change, which is bomb, and it is going to cut major time out of your makeup routine, especially if you are a wing girl. So be sure to check that out. I will link that down below. But this is the full face of makeup. Again, I've been wearing it for 5 hours and I already have quite a lot to say about it. It is so effing matte, like my face feels crusty. I feel like Krusty Krab. That's what I feel like, honestly. I think of SpongeBob. That's what I feel like. I am Krusty the Krab. A few things that I noticed are, there is a lot of texture in my face. It is matte though, so like I enjoy a dewy, like more natural look. Some days I do like full coverage. If you have oily skin, you are going to love this foundation. Even better, if you have oily skin and you are a full coverage kind of bitch, you're gonna love this foundation. Like, this is the foundation for you. It's $34. It's not that expensive compared to a lot of foundations on the market right now. That was my pros. So, you know, y'all out there, I get a lot of comments from people saying that you don't like it when I give a bad review about things, but this is a review channel. I'm gonna tell you guys if I don't like things. I'm not just gonna review things that I love. So I'm just being real. Keep it 100, okay? That's what I'm doing. Another thing I'm just gonna note, now this is a con, okay? Hold your seats, boys and girls. I don't love how the rest of my makeup applied over top of this foundation. It wasn't smooth. I think that my contour doesn't look bad, but that's because I blended the shit out of it. Otherwise, when I first put it on and blended it out, the normal amount of blending that I typically do, it looked kind of muddy, it looked kind of streaky, and you could tell that the foundation was really grabbing the bronzer. Same with the blush, and the brows was like a whole other story. I don't even know what happened. It was almost like my brow pencil was like crumbling on top of the foundation because I did apply it all over my face and there was foundation in the mix of my brows. I did try to comb as much of the foundation out as I possibly could, but I don't know. My brows just like look kind of like chalky and pencily. And I also did this nose contour that took me 20 minutes to do. When I went in with my nose contour brush over the foundation and I literally dipped it in the Kat Von D, and you guys know I always like tap excess off on my hand, whether it's translucent powder, whether it's black shadow, anything, I always tap it off just because I don't want a lot of product on my face. I think it's better to build up product than just like bloop it on and it be too much. So I did go in and like contour the nose, and I don't really know. I feel like, what does the contour look like? What do you guys think? I think it looks a little muddy. So I don't really know. Let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about the nose contour? I'm not loving it so far, but like I said, I'm going to be a champ and I'm going to complete this wear test video. Really what I want to do right now, if I'm being totally honest, I really want to wash my face off and just like put 30 layers of like hydrating masks on it because I feel like Krusty the Krab. And I have literally put setting spray on my face like 30 times. The only thing I will say is that I have not, there is not an ounce of oil on my face. Like, so again, girl, if you are oily, this is for you. I'm gonna go downstairs, I'm gonna hang out with Mike. We're gonna go out to dinner in Jersey City, and yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along the way and we'll see how we feel throughout the night. Okay, so this is like awful lighting. It's not even zooming on my face, but let's see. Let's get an opinion. What do we think? Babe,
I don't know.
tell us what we think about the foundation.
I don't think we're loving this foundation.
Why?
We expected more of it.
But like, what's wrong with it?
It's looking a little cakey, like it's sitting on top of your skin instead of blending in with your skin.
Okay, all right. So
you still look hot though. But
thanks, babe.
I don't know.
You're cute.
I'm not feeling it.
Okay, so we're still not feeling it. I feel like it looks better though than it looked like before.
Yeah, I
right.
agree
Like
with
when
that.
I first put it on, I felt like it was really cakey.
Yeah.
And I feel like now that my skin is like a little bit more oily, it's like not as cakey.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so I feel like this is TBD. I feel like we need to like wear this in the summer and see where this goes. Okay, so we're gonna go inside and hang out for a little while, and then I'll check in with you guys before I go to bed. So stay tuned, but we're still not loving it, right?
No.
Not loving it. Okay, so I think I failed to mention in my last check-in that we were 9 hours in, and now in my final check-in, we are 11 hours in. So your girl is tired, I am exhausted, and I think that I have everything that I need to say down packed with this foundation. So I think it is all a matter of preference. I have combo to dry skin. I think this is pretty dry for people with dry skin. When I first put it on, it was really cakey. I think that now that the natural oils in my skin are starting to reduce, it looks a little less cakey, but I still don't need to touch it up. Like, you do not need to touch this foundation up at all. It is what it says it is. It is full coverage, it is matte. I think that if it were to be hot and humid here, this would definitely last a good amount of hours. I think this needs to be a part 2 video. I think this would be wonderful for me in the summer when my skin is a little bit more oily and it's a little more humid. But for right now, I think I'm going to put this foundation on the shelf and wait until it gets a little hot and humid here in the tri-state area. So for right now, this isn't a go for me, but I do want to come back to this foundation. I think, again, if you are someone that has oily skin, you will love this. I have not had to touch up once, and I've been wearing this for 11 hours now. So all in all, I can't say anything really bad about this foundation. All I can say is that if you have dry skin, like Mike said, it does sit on top, especially like in my T-zone. It kind of looks like the foundation is sitting on top of my skin, but I don't hate it. I know this is kind of a confusing review, but I think that it all comes down to what kind of canvas you have. Again, I have said this time and time and again, you need to know what you are working with. You need to know what your skin type is, whether it's oily, dry, combo, etc. And you also need to moisturize. Any skin that has like dry patches, dead skin on it, it's not gonna lay down nice. So make sure you're exfoliating and applying a ton of moisturizer. And I think that this might work for you. So if you enjoyed this video, which I had a blast doing this video, leave it a big thumbs up down below. Leave me some love in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about this foundation. What do you think it looks like on my skin? Does it look good? Does it not? Would you buy it? Would you not buy it? And also be sure to subscribe and click the bell button. This way you get a notification every time I upload a video here on my YouTube channel. I had a great time as always, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, finders.